Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching a video called The Top 10 Places to Visit in Bavaria. I know that Bavaria is a region in Germany. I don't know if it's a state. I don't think it's a state. I think it's more like a region, and I don't know if it's an actual like city or it's just the name of the region in which like the little towns are in. I don't even know if there's like a big city, like there's a city called Bavaria. I have no idea. I want to say it's like near the Alps or it's part of the Alps. I know it has like a lot of mountain peaks and stuff, and that's why I think it's near the Alps, but I don't really know if that's true. And yeah, I know there's like a lot of beautiful like natural landscapes, but I don't know if there's like an actual like city like a big city that you can visit, or it's just like the region. So there's like a lot of like little towns, and those are the ones you actually go visit. But I know it's very popular. I think it's probably one of the most like touristy destinations in Germany. So I can't wait to find out like what the cool places and the most beautiful places to visit are in here. So come join me and comment, like, subscribe, and start.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan Shirley, and I just returned from a road trip across Bavaria, and I want to show you some of my favorite places. So here is my Bavaria top 10.
That's like so blue.
Bavaria is home to some of Europe's most magical landscapes, from endless castles to medieval fairy tale towns. Bavaria is a destination that needs to be explored. Let's start this video off in the town of Berchtesgaden. Now, I have to say this is one of the most beautiful towns in all of Germany. It's just a 2-hour drive from Munich and is nestled in the Bavarian Alps. One of my favorite features of Berchtesgaden is the Watzmann Mountain. It's a uniquely shaped peak that towers over the town. It almost looks like someone took a bite out of it. One thing I love about Berchtesgaden is there's so many beautiful churches to explore. One of my favorites is the church in Ramsau. It's right next to this beautiful stream, and there's this picture-perfect bridge to observe the church from. Another one of my favorites is the Maria Jern Church, which offers a perfect view of the Watzmann Mountain. One of the main reasons I wanted to go to Berchtesgaden was to visit Hitler's Eagle's Nest. Now, I'm really fascinated with World War II history, and I had to see this place for myself. Now, the Eagle's Nest was built in 1939 and was given to Hitler for his 50th birthday. Now, to get to the Eagle's Nest, you can take a bus up. When you get to the top, you'll walk through a deep tunnel into the mountain. When I was in there, it was just crazy to think that Hitler walked these same walls. Now, at the end of the tunnel, there's a circular room that leads you into a golden elevator. Even though the Eagle's Nest and the road leading up to it cost nearly 200 million euros to make, adjusted for inflation, Hitler only visited it on 14 documented occasions. This may be because Hitler was afraid of heights, and he was also scared of using the elevator. Thankfully, the Eagle's Nest wasn't destroyed in World War II, and today it's a restaurant.
I don't know where you did that other thing.
While you're there, you can hike up some walking paths into the Berchtesgaden National Park, enjoying the incredible sights of this historical destination. Afterwards, we're going to head back to Berchtesgaden to visit the Lake Kunensee. Now, the lake was created by glaciers, which makes it feel like you're in a fjord you'd see in Norway or New Zealand. When I was there, we took a boat ride to the end of the lake. It cost around 15 euros and took about 50 minutes to cross the lake. Now, the first stop was to the famous St. Bartholomew's Church. We kept going and we reached the end of the lake. We then hiked about 10 minutes to reach Obersee. Just home to this iconic lake hut.
What is that?
And the scenery there is just astounding. The lake's so clear, and it's just surrounded by massive mountain walls that are hard to explain. I just had a great time enjoying the scenery around the lake.
Very Nordic.
Definitely got to explore Kunensee and Obersee while you're in Berchtesgaden. Now, afterwards, we're going to visit the magical village of Rothenburg. Now, when you go to Rothenburg, you'll feel like you're walking in a fantasy movie. It's one of the most preserved medieval old towns in all of Europe. During the Middle Ages, Rothenburg thrived as it was located at the crossroads of European trade routes. At the beginning of the 15th century, it rose to becoming the second largest city in all of Germany, but during the 17th century, Rothenburg faced adversities such as the 30-Year War and the bubonic plague. Without much resources, Rothenburg's growth was halted, which aided in keeping the town preserved in its medieval state. Today, Rothenburg maintains its medieval charm, and it's been the inspiration for sets of Disney movies such as Pinocchio. If you go, you can check out the famous Ploning Corner or witness the beautiful Christmas markets. Just hard to beat the allure of this German village. From Rottenburg, you can make the 3-hour drive to the beautiful city of Munich, also known as Bavaria's capital. Munich is located in the south of Germany, about 50 kilometers from the Alps. During World War II, Munich was heavily bombed by over 70 air raids, but today the city is restored to its former beauty. One of the most popular spots is the Marienplatz, Central Square. You'll find the new town hall with its stunning clock tower and historical figurines. After Munich, we're going to head to the top of Germany to visit the Zugspitze mountain. Now, with a height of 2,962 meters, easily one of the most impressive mountains in all of Germany, Zugspitze is located south of Garmisch-Partenkirchen, and the easiest way to reach the top of the mountain is by a cable car. It costs around 60 euros, and it's one of the biggest gondolas I've ever been in. It holds several world records, including the longest free span in a cable car, with a distance of more than 3,000 meters. Honestly, an engineering phenomenon, and a little scary going up. The cable car is quite the experience, and once you reach the top, you can explore the mountain station. I mean, it really blew me away up there. It totally reminded me of an evil villain's lair. There's a great restaurant and platforms to observe the scenery below. One thing that I thought was interesting is you can walk through this tunnel, and it'll take you to the Austrian side of Zugspitze. Now, from the platform on the German side, you can see the summit cross. Me and my brother decided we wanted to climb to the top. The snow made it a little sketchy, but we held on tight to the iron wire and climbed a ladder and made it to the cross. I mean, the view is unreal up there. I mean, if you go in the summertime, I'm sure it's not as sketchy to summit this. Now, after Zugspitze, you can take the cable car down to visit the lake Eibsee. Now, it's known as the Maldives of the Alps with its clear water and tree-dotted islands. I mean, the color of the water there is astounding. Now, if you have time, I definitely recommend walking along the lake. It's full of beautiful groves of trees and a perfect place to relax on the shoreline and enjoy some Bavarian nature. Now, afterwards, we're going to head over to Wagenbrüssee. This is one of the most scenic places in all of Bavaria. I mean, I was just baffled by this place. It's this beautiful little lake nestled in the mountains, and it's full of farm sheds that dot the hillside. Now, the lake is overlooked by the perfectly placed Karwendel Alps. I mean, it reminded me a lot of Alpe d'Huez in the Dolomites. I had such a fun time exploring here. I just walked down a little dirt road to get there, and it was a spectacular place to enjoy the Bavarian sunset. I mean, it was definitely one of the highlights of my trip. I'm jealous of all the farmers who have sheds there. After, we're going to head to the beautiful town of Füssen. Now, located right at the foot of the Bavarian Alps, Füssen is a 700-year-old medieval city full of old charm. Its streets are lined with cobblestones, and you feel like you're walking back in time as you explore it. I just love all the classical German houses, and I think it's so cool how the milky blue River Lech runs right next to the town. The crowning feature of Füssen is the High Castle. I mean, just adds so much character to the town. If you really want to go back in time, I mean, you just gotta give Füssen a visit. Now, for our final destination, we're gonna visit the iconic Neuschwanstein Castle. I have to say that it is the most beautiful castle in all Europe. It's what inspired Disney's Sleeping Beauty castle. I mean, it's just the perfect place for a princess. Now, the castle is nestled at the very tip of southern Germany. Neuschwanstein Castle is placed perfectly in the mountains with a phenomenal 360 view of the Bavarian Alps and the town below. The construction of the castle began in 1869. During World War II, the SS debated blowing up the castle to prevent it from falling into the enemy's hands, but thankfully it never happened. Today, the castle receives over 1.4 million visitors a year, so it's definitely a tourist hotspot. When I was there, we walked around the castle. When you're up close, you realize how huge it really is. King Ludwig had some imagination. Anyways, I found a great vantage point in the trees with a perfect view of the castle. I mean, I just can't get over the beauty of this place. I mean, it's truly something out of a Disney fairy tale. Afterwards, you can walk around Eibsee. It's another picturesque alpine lake with views of the Hohenschwangau Castle. Another incredible spot nearby is St. Coloman's Church. It's located just a few minutes away and has a splendid view of the castle and the Bavarian Alps. One of my favorite memories of my time in Bavaria was just enjoying the sunset at the church, just marveling at the green pastures and overall scenery. Bavaria truly is a magical place. Well, that is it for my Bavaria top 10.
look at this
Let me
trees.
know where your favorite place is in Bavaria in the comments below. I also started a relaxation channel where I post hour-long films with calming music to bring some peace and nature in your life. I did a film on Germany that I think you'll enjoy.
Oh my god, I want to be there.
On TikTok and Instagram at shirley.films. It's Ryan, and we will see you later.
Is that smoke coming out of the chimneys? Like, can't believe it's real. This is incredible. Because I could see like by the thumbnail, like it looked beautiful, but I was not expecting like how beautiful actually like everything is. It's like, it's incredible. Like, it's all of them are like, even one's more beautiful than the other. Like, they all look so beautiful. I love the fact that they also have like, you can also like go in the Alps, from what I could understand. Like, you can actually like go on top of the Alps and like the mountain, and you can go like by cable car. And obviously, like, the landscape's going to be very different because it's very rocky. It's a mountain. It's a snowy mountain. So obviously, you know, the landscape, like when you walk around, it's going to be very weird. I love the fact that he actually like walked, and I don't know, again, they have a rope, but I don't know, like he also did mention it was kind of sketchy. I have no idea if that's legal because it must be dangerous. Like, you can't just walk around the snowy peak, like with just like grabbing a rope. That doesn't seem like very safe. But I love that there's like that sort of like rocky Alps landscape, and then in the landscape like below, the geography is just like flat terrain with this beautiful, and there's like a lot of probably a lot of farmers. He did mention that there were like a lot of farms nearby. So you have like a lot of farmer sheds, and it's like all just like the crops, and the terrain is like very flat, and the grass is so green. It's so beautiful. And as you see the mountain, it's like, oh my god, this is so like, it's so beautiful. It's so pretty. I think my favorite, like, they're also beautiful. I wouldn't even know what to say because it's like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. I wasn't expecting also like for the castle to be like that big. I know it's kind of crazy of me to say like, oh, I wasn't expecting the castle to be that big. Like, it's a castle, what do you expect? But when you're seeing, like, I think it's the perspective thing, because you know it's big. But when you're seeing it like from afar or in the shots, you're like, oh yeah, obviously it's a castle. Like, I can imagine it's very big. But once like he actually got into, like, he was walking around, and you can like go and see it like on top, you can see like, oh my god, it's so tall. It's so like, I wasn't expecting it to be that tall. It must be like so weird to be at a place like that. You must be like a little ant just like walking around. It's like, oh, this is how ants feel, because you feel like so small. I don't understand how they build that actually, and I don't know how it looks like from the inside, or you can just like walk around, or it's just like you can walk, like you can just like do a tour of the insides, or it's just like, no, it's closed. You can just like walk around like the grounds and stuff, but you can't actually like go and see how it is. I don't know, that would be quite interesting. But I think my favorite was, I don't know, it was like the second to last, I think. The place where he did mention like he went to see the sunset, and he like walked, there was like he walked a path, and there was like this incredibly stunning lake. I can't remember the name of the town because like it escapes me right now, but that was, I think, honestly, one of the most like beautiful places I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't think like what would it be like actually see that in real life? Like, oh my god, he did mention like, I can't believe like the farmers and the people that live here have this view like every single day. It must be so crazy. It's like, do you know how lucky you are to get this view like every day of your life? That's crazy to me. Like, again, it looks like a postcard. It looks like a painting. It doesn't look real. Like, I always say I know it's real because I'm seeing the video, but it looks like it's painting. Like, someone did a painting and that's what it is, or someone like created this like in a computer, because it looks fake, because it looks so beautiful that it looks fake. But I loved it, and I think now I want to go visit Bavaria because it has so many incredible places. And I love the fact that he just went on a road trip, because I think that's probably the right way to visit like a place like this, because there's like a lot of like this incredible gorgeous towns, and you can actually like you can see them like that. Obviously, doing like a road trip, you can just like stop by and see, and like, I don't know, check out the views, and maybe like stay for just like one night, and you can just follow along. So I think road trip, it's the way to go in Bavaria. But that was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.